Good evening, everyone. Sorry for the late start of business. My name is Sandra Esinamapenu. Let's do some business now. Deputy Finance Minister Kweku Kwarteng has reiterated government support for the National Insurance Commission to recapitalize the insurance industry by increasing the minimum capital requirement. Kweku Kwarteng says the sector plays a key role in the financial sector, hence the need for a strong foundation to deliver on its mandate. He was speaking at this year's Joy Businesses Financial Services Forum held here in Accra.
The Joy Business Financial Services Forum assembled industry players from reinsurance, life and motor insurance firms, as well as industry experts. They dialogued on some strategies taken by the National Insurance Commission, NIC, to improve penetration. The forum was on the theme, Recapitalizing to Grow, a panacea for expansion, penetration and big business underwriting. Speaking to officially open the forum, Deputy Finance Minister Kweku Kwarteng expressed confidence that the measures undertaken by the National Insurance Commission will strengthen the sector. He noted government is fully backing the recapitalization program.
Well, as government, we back our regulators. And on this occasion, we do, particularly when they are in discussions with us. But I think we all agree that the balance between, on the one hand, creating a credible insurance industry, and on the other hand, ensuring that our indigenous participants continue to remain in business would have to be considered carefully.
Meanwhile, insurance consultant and former Deputy Commissioner of the National Insurance Commission, Simon Davo, fears the additional capital to be raised out of the recapitalization will be absorbed by losses.
We are not careful, the capital we are going to increase may also be used to improve their reserving problems. If I say reserving, those insurance industries, they know what I'm talking about. If you actually know their database and the level of reserving they are carrying in their books to support the liabilities, from afar, you can see that there is a lot more to be done. Because if the books are clean and the levels are clear, you can see that the level of reserves you have in the books will not be sufficient to carry your liabilities. So your capital may come, but it will also go further to just improve and cushion your reserves.
On the contrary, partner at KPMG Robert Jatto believes the current trend in the financial sector can only be minimized with innovation, even though more capital is also important.
So what more do you know about the insurance sector? Take a look at this. From the insurance sector, let's do something on the CD. Government has secured far more than what it was targeting in its Eurobond sale. This was after it closed the pricing in London today, Tuesday, March 19. Result that Joy Business is actually picking up from the transaction indicates that government has received over $21 billion in bid from investors from across the world. George Viafe is in here in the studio for a discussion on this interesting development. Thanks so much for your time, George. Such an impressive show in London. What do you think?
Well, they are interesting, of course, and if you look at the results again, going into this whole Eurobond where we're trying to raise, these are bonds that are raised but are just denominated in dollars, and you are targeting most of the time investors in the European countries as well as the Americas. We knew the government was targeting $3 billion. We didn't know that government was going to do tranches, and if you look directly at the results, government is looking at doing a 7-year, a 12-year, and then 31 years, between the range of 7 to about 8 point something % as interest. So this result that is coming out is very interesting. Now, government went out to engage these investors. It decided on the pricing, that is the range that is going to give these investors that are going to lend money to it.
So these are all commitments for now.
These are firm commitment from investors across the world.
Right.
Now, there's left with government to see that, okay, we don't need all these money because it comes at a cost. So we're going to take a fraction of that. Now, $21 billion are awaiting you for you to take, but at what price? And that is what government has told us again in these results, that we'll be looking at between 7 to about 8.9% interest to pay on this in terms of this Eurobond. Ask yourself, what are they going to use these money for?
I was going to come to that, because what impact is this going to have, especially on the performance of the cedi? Just the news alone, what impact is it going to have on?
What does the news alone? And we would, again, go into a very debatable space that around the world and around the economy, anytime there are problems with currencies, the regulator would have to step in and defend the currency. Either it's backed by gold or it's backed by dollars. Now, in Ghana's case, it is purely a demand and supply issue. What is happening is that more people are demanding dollars. There wasn't the required dollars on the market. And therefore, Bank of Ghana had to step in to supply dollars. Right. Now, looking at the fact that you realize also that apart from the fact that what was putting pressure on the cedi was that businesses needed dollars to finance their imports. Again, you also realize that there were people who were rushing in to get dollars. Just imagine about a week ago or 2 weeks ago when it was around 5 Ghana cedis. If you had put that money or taken about 10,000 Ghana cedis to buy, jumping to about 8.5 or 9%, you would have made some record interest on those monies compared to even treasury bills and other interests
as well. People are going to lose now because the issue was artificial.
So you look at the fact that there was an element of the demand that was not really backed by people really needing these dollars to finance their imports. And therefore, if you have little supply on the market, and for these guys who also believe that, well, looking at the way or looking at what is happening, I don't need to hold on to these dollars, then you see that supply has been upped on the market.
Right.
The fact that I know that Ghana or the Bank of Ghana's reserves are good, then I wouldn't be betting again on the Ghana cedi. So that is why we are seeing that pickup. I don't think that government will go in to take all these 21 billion because it will come at a huge cost. So whilst we celebrate this bond, all right, it is not free money.
Right.
If we are going to use these monies to finance capital projects in the budget, we need to stick to it.
Okay. George, quickly before you go, I mean, this news out there is good news for a lot of businesses, but do we know the rates currently, and is it going to go down further? Well,
if this news are anything to go by, then it is time for us to test the real demand for dollars out there. This morning, it opened 5.2. That is 5 Ghana cedis, 20 pesos. It went up to 5 Ghana cedis, 30 pesos. Right. If these developments are anything to go by, then the advice to you is that if you are holding on to dollars and you don't need it for any dollar-related business activity, if you are into imports, you are financing transactions that you need dollars, and you went in because you want to cash in on the good run, the advice now is that dispose those dollars off before you lose.
Do you think it's going to fall below 5 cedis?
The dynamics are difficult, and our FX market is quite small.
All right.
But if government, or if the Bank of Ghana really wants to push it down, they can do it.
Thank you very much, George. We are here for the update. Let's do other stories now. Vodafone Ghana has finally launched its much anticipated 4G and 4.5G services, termed the Real 4G network. Outgoing CEO of Vodafone, Yolanda Guba, noted the new service now gives Vodafone the edge to compete in the country's telecom space.
Vodafone Ghana has officially launched its 4G long-term evolution service, a unique and innovative technology that represents the next stage of the mobile data revolution. The service is designed to work efficiently than previously, allowing customers to experience fast speeds, high-end network quality, faster downloads and uploads. The LTE technology operates in the 2x5 MHz frequency block in the 800 MHz band, as stipulated in the licensing conditions agreed between Vodafone and the National Communications Authority last December. Outgoing CEO of Vodafone, Yolanda Guba, expressed confidence in expanding the market share of the company with introduction of the service.
We've had to convince each other. We've had to make sure that we are still pals at difficult times, and today is the beginning of a new dawn.
Launching the event, Minister for Communications Ursula Owusu-Ekufo said the telecom sector must not only focus on the 4G spectrum, but also focus on 5G as well.
4G is great. I'm glad you have deployed 4.5G on some of your sites, but it is just a step towards where the entire industry is evolving towards, 5G. It's not as far-fetched as it seems. And I did ask Huawei whether the equipment that they are deploying is 5G ready, and they said yes.
Vodafone is rolling out the service on the back of a reliable network and strong global expertise in deploying new technology across its major markets around the world.